The world is a symphony of wet earth and distant screams. Kael, a maker of things, ignores it all. His focus is on the stones. He runs a callous thumb over a piece of flint. It's edged to brittle. He discards it. The others in his small clan of Homo Habilis hunt or gather, their days dictated by the guttural language of their stomachs. Kael's days are dictated by shape and heft. He is searching for a stone with a soul, one that feels like an extension of his own hand. A tool yet to find its purpose. This obsession makes him a curiosity, a half-minded useful creature in a world that values only the full stomach and the quick escape. He wanders far from the safety of the caves, drawn to the riverbed where the water tumbles rocks into perfect, lethal geometries. The sounds of prehistoric life are a constant drone, a backdrop of shrieks and bellows that human ancestors learned to filter, listening only for the notes that signal immediate danger. The ground shudders. This is new. It is not the deep, rhythmic tread of a sauropod herd, a walking forest that is more landscape than threat. This is a frantic, rhythmic drumming. A roar splits the air, a sound that shreds the leaves on the trees and makes the small mammals burrow deeper in rot era. Kael freezes, his hand hovering over a promisingly smooth granite cobble. He scrambles up the muddy embankment, pulling himself into the dense ferns that offer a sliver of concealment. Through the fronds, he sees a clearing, a stage for a drama that has played out for millions of years before humans were even a whisper in the timeline of ancient Earth. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, a god of flesh and teeth, circles its prey. Its massive head swings low, jaws agape, ropes of saliva dripping onto the forest floor. Its target is an Ankylosaurus, a living fortress of bone and keratin. The herbivore is a half-minded sphere of interlocking osteodermis, a mocking shield that offers no obvious purchase. It stands its ground, low and immovable. Its short, powerful legs brace. The T-Rex is a creature of explosive forward violence. The Ankylosaurus is a master of absolute, passive defense, a stalemate of evolution. The predator lunges, a feint, its teeth clacking shut inches from the armored flank. The Ankylosaurus doesn't even flinch. It simply shifts its weight, its heavy tail tracing a slow, deliberate arc through the air, the massive club of bone at its tip a silent promise. Kael watches, his tool-maker's mind dissecting the scene. He is not watching a fight. He is watching a demonstration of physics. The T-Rex, growing impatient, commits. It lunges for the neck, trying to get its jaws under the armored plating. For a split second, its left leg is exposed, the massive pillar of muscle and bone planted to support the attack. The Ankylosaurus does not hesitate. Its tail, a perfectly engineered lever, whips around. The motion is not one of panic, but of pure, biomechanical certainty. The heavy knob of bone at the end accelerates, a guided missile of calcified fury. The impact is a sound Kael feels in his marrow, a dull, sickening thud that echoes through the trees. The Tyrannosaurus screams, a sound of shock and agony, as its fibula and tibia shatter. The king of the dinosaurs, the apex predator, is crippled. It tumbles back, its leg folding at an unnatural angle, and limps away into the jungle, its rein momentarily broken. The Ankylosaurus watches it go, then returns to placidly tearing mouthfuls of fern. The demonstration is over. Kael slides down the embankment, his heart pounding not with fear, but with a terrifying, brilliant idea. He picks up the granite cobble, its weight now feeling entirely different in his hand. He no longer sees a stone. He sees the echo of a dinosaur's tail. He returns to the clan not as a provider, but as a man possessed. In one hand, he clutches the smooth, heavy granite, its weight a new kind of language against his palm. The others, gathered around a meager fire gnawing on roasted ferns, look up. They see no meat over his shoulder, no pouch of berries. They see only the fever in his eyes and the useless stone in his hand. Una, the clan's eldest female, her face a roadmap of scars and survival, clicks her tongue in disapproval. The sky-minus lizards will not fill their bellies with rocks. Kael, she rasps, her voice dry as dust. He offers no reply. He cannot explain the vision burned into his mind, the perfect, brutal biomechanics of the tale. The transfer of energy, the catastrophic result, words are too clumsy for physics. For the next cycle of light and dark, Kael becomes a ghost to his own people. He is present, yet absent, while others sharpen spears or weave baskets. He sits at the edge of the camp, the granite stone his only companion. The memory of the impact haunts him. It was not the stone itself that broke the T-Rex, but the arc it traveled. The power was in the swing. He needs a lever, a bridge between his own weak arm and the stone's final, devastating purpose. The clan's existing toolkit, an osteodontocratic collection of bone awls and sharpened horn scrapers, is designed for slicing and piercing. This is different. He is not trying to cut skin. He is trying to shatter bone. This is a profound shift in the thinking of early humans. A step into a new and terrifying chapter of hominid history. He finds his lever in the gnarled heart of an ironwood tree, a branch thick as his wrist, seasoned and hardened by 100 suns. Using a shard of flint, he begins to work, scraping a groove into the wood, shaping a cradle for the granite head. The work is slow, maddening. His hands bleed. The other males grunt in derision as they pass, hefting their simple, sharpened sticks. They see a madman wasting his strength, obsessed with a toy while the world demands vigilance. This is his hard choice, to trust the ghost in his hand over the tangible hunger in his belly, to alienate the very people his invention is meant to protect. He strips sinew from a carcass left by a carnosaur, chewing the tough fibers until they are pliable. He seats the stone in its wooden groove and begins to wrap. Hour after hour, he wraps the sinew, pulling it taut, crisscrossing the bindings. His movements are frantic prayer. He leaves the finished object in the sun, letting the heat shrink the sinew until it fuses the stone and wood into a single, monstrous whole. When he finally stands and lifts it, the clan falls silent. The object is ugly, unbalanced, an affront to the simple elegance of a spear. It is a rock on a stick. But when Kael swings it, the air whistles. The weight of the head pulls his arm through a powerful, centrifugal arc, the momentum terrifying. He can feel the kinetic energy. The ghost of the Ankylosaurus, coiled within this piece of primitive technology. He brings it down upon a rotted log, not with the chopping motion of an axe, but with the full minus-bodied pivot he witnessed in the clearing. The impact doesn't just splinter the wood, it pulverizes it, sending a shockwave through the ground. The clan stares, their mockery replaced by adorning, fearful respect. Kael looks at his creation, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He has not made a tool. He has stolen a weapon from the world of dinosaurs and taught it how to speak for humanity. The new weapon sits in the center of the camp, an idol of wood and stone. The clan gives it a wide berth. They touch it furtively when Kael isn't looking, testing its weight. Their minds struggling to bridge the gap between what it is, a rock tied to a stick, and what it did. The balance of their world, a delicate equilibrium of fear and avoidance, has been disturbed. Before, power was measured in the sharpness of a tooth or the speed of a leg. Now, something new has entered the equation, a force multiplier born in the mind of one of their own. Kael himself seems unsure of what he has unleashed. He spends his days practicing the swing, the pivot, the controlled release of energy, his muscles learning the violent grammar of his own creation. He is no longer just a maker. He is the custodian of a new and terrible kind of fire. The test comes not from the thunder of a Tyrannosaurus, but from the whisper of clawed feet on dry leaves. They are a pack of dying hisses, the quintessential nightmare of this prehistoric world. Not loud, but weary and brutally efficient. They are feathered scalpels on legs. They hunt not with brute force, but with a terrifying, coordinated intelligence that the clan has only ever known how to flee from. The attack is a fluid, calculated blitz. They burst from the undergrowth at dusk, ignoring the stronger males at the far end, flowing like a river of teeth toward the periphery, where the young and the old huddle. The clan's response is instinctual and chaotic shouts, thrown stones, and the brandishing of sharpened, but ultimately inadequate, spears. One raptor, scarred and bold, pins a young boy against the cave wall, its sickle claw raised for the killing strike. Another leaps onto the back of Runa, the old matriarch, her frail body collapsing under the predator's weight. This is the moment that breaks Kael's paralysis. He is not a warrior, but he is a protector. He bellows, heroish, primal sound, and charges, the heavy hammer feeling both alien and like a part of his own arm. He does not aim for the raptor on the boy. It is too close. The risk of error too high. He swings at the one savaging Una. All his practice, all his obsessive study of the Ankylosaurus rust tail, culminates in this single, perfect talk. He puts his entire body into the motion, a pivot of the hips that channels momentum into the granite head. The hammer connects with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The sound is not a crack, but a wet, explosive crunch. The shattering echo of the T-Rex's broken leg resounds in the small clearing. The raptor is thrown from over and is back, its body a broken sack of bone and feathers, instantly dead. The other Dinosaurs freeze. They're intelligent. Bird-like eyes flick from their dead pack mate to the hominid holding the strange, bone-minded breaking limb. Their predatory calculus, honed over millennia, fails them. They see a creature that should be prey, yet it wields the concussive force of a living dinosaur. The risk is no longer worth the reward. With a series of sharp, agitated chirps, they snatch their fallen comrade and melt back into the jungle. The clearing is silent, save for the boy's terrified sobs and Duna's ragged breathing. Kael stands over her, the hammer dripping, his knuckles white. The clown stares at him, at the tool in his hands. It is no longer a curiosity, it is salvation. The age of stone and bone has ended. The age of the hammer has begun. The echoes of that blow ripple outward, far beyond the confines of the small cave. This single act of violent, inspired translation, seeing a weapon in a dinosaur's tail and claiming its power, is a turning point in the epic of human evolution. It is the moment the hunted first learned to truly break the hunter. The journey of our species is not a gentle ascent. It is a brutal climb, paved with such moments of terrifying clarity. The mind that saw lever in a branch and a warhead in a river stone is the ancestor of every mind that would later design a catapult, forge a sword, or split the atom. It is the audacious, world-breaking spark of anthropology itself, the refusal to accept the limits of the flesh. These early humans, small and fragile, huddled in a world of titans, discovered the one weapon that could level the playing field. They discovered that the most powerful force on ancient Earth was not to Thor claw, but a thought made manifest, a principle stolen from the very monsters they feared and turned against them. For what is all human history, if not the story of learning to shatter the bones of our limitations? For in the deep past, survival was not a story. It was the crushing silence after the roar. But the earth holds terrors that cannot be broken by stone.